Welcome back to Southern Custom CC YouTube channel. This is Mark. This is part 2 of the YD100 initial review. So here we have the YD100 from cdhpower.com. I got this through Alibaba. I'm looking to buy these in bulk and put these on engines, so they were nice enough to get me a sample, give it a test run. And initially, you can click up on the banner above to see my initial opening and review of the engine. But here we have it installed on the 2019 Nel Lusso. It's the new black gray with the tan tires, tan seat. I've been wanting to build this bike for a little while, but now we finally have a chance. Like I said in the previous video, I wanted to put that YD100 on the 1937 Columbia, but there wasn't enough space with the lower board track frame on there. The engine was too tall and it wouldn't have been able to fit the spark plug in there at all. I initially had the CNC front engine mount on that engine, and even with that off, it still didn't fit. So I had to find a bike with a bigger frame, and so I went ahead and I picked up this Nel Lusso. It fit straightforward, no complications with the M8 studs. The only problem I encountered was the spark plug as far as installation goes. If you want to look at the previous video, the piston was on backwards and there were a couple other minor details we had to address. But as far as the install of the engine, the only problem I encountered was putting in the upgraded NGK B6HS spark plug. Now, I don't think I would have encountered this problem if I were running with the standard LZ spark plug that these kits come with, because they are a little bit narrower on this nut portion of the spark plug. So I think I'd be able to get the spark plug tool remover in there. But because this is a little bit wider, I was unable to get a standard spark plug socket in between that small diameter in between the casing. And so what I had to do was wrench it. And I was only able to go about 1/8 of a turn. It took me about 5 minutes to get that spark plug in. But other than that, everything was pretty straightforward, no complications. This is the YD100 with the 50mm piston and the 40mm stroke. That all comes out to about 78.5 cubic centimeters. That definitely is a bump from the 66 cc's, which the standard 80cc motors have. So we're about to take a look at that. I imagine that there's going to be more torque. The top speed will probably be a little bit better, but we'll definitely have to take this for a run and see. Has the high-speed carburetor, the quote-unquote high-performance CDI, NGK B6HS spark plug, 40mm intake, M8 studs, the YD100 crank. So let's go take this baby for a ride and see how it performs. took it for a ride. We've been about 10 miles on this thing, been around the block a few times. Overall, this thing is powerful, no doubt about it. This is the YD100. Got it from cdhpower.com. Its bottom end torque is phenomenal. It will pull you from a stop sign and pull you up to power and up to speed right away. Barely any pedaling even needed. The torque on this thing is enormous. It's the 78.5 cc, has the 50 millimeter piston, the 40 millimeter bore. Overall, Southern Custom CC recommends this engine. Yeah, there were a couple complications that we had to address right out of the box. Go ahead and click on the banner above to see the initial unboxing and the pre-installation and the pre-install of this YD100. But this thing cooks. It kind of plateaus at the 25-27 mile an hour mark. I'm sure once you get this engine broken in and you get a good straightaway that it will definitely surpass that plateau, but I definitely don't want to overstress this engine. Brand new. I'm going to break it in properly, give it about 20-25, but this is solid with those M8 studs. High performance carb, quote unquote, high performance CDI. This thing's awesome. The rear end torque on this is amazing. I definitely will be recommending these and buying some more and putting them on some bikes and some builds in the near future. For the money, $166 for the entire kit. You're looking at the JL Zeda bottom half, the Firestorm Zeda with a larger piston and a larger cylinder for about $20 more than the Firestorm. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. This is it. The only problem that we're looking at here is that, you know, it's the 78.5 that is a little bit too much past the 50 cc mark for most states. But if you live in a place that is, you know, kind of motorized bikes, and you think you can get away with this motor, I would definitely recommend it. Yeah, the low end torque is worth it in itself. I'm sure this thing has some pretty good higher top end speed. Rides beautifully. Well, thanks for following us, taking a look. Hopefully we'll see you around again. Thanks again.